you realize you just can't leave your job because you don't like the people.
Sometimes I'm send a message, I'm not looking for a response. I just gotta say what's on my mind. I just need to vocalize and get it out. I can't have the words sit on my chest. I gotta just say out loud.
You know, love who you love, do what you do, open up your perspective, but I mean, don't open it too far.
Hey, kings and queens, and everything in between. Welcome to this episode of A Sip with Samad podcast, and I'm your host, Samad. Let's jump in.
Hey, y'all, welcome to another show. Of course, you know who I am, and today is a special episode. I have someone special here with us. Tevon, tell us who you are and what you want the people to know about you today.
Yes. Well, first off, thank you so much for having me. I'm Tevon. I am from Chicago. I've been living in Atlanta for the past 4 years. Been living in the South for the past 10 years. And I'm a little bit of everything. I will consider myself like your mentee, but also like a friend, big brother, all these different things. I have like made those titles for myself, but then like grew into the actual other relationships. And so you've seen like my young 22-year-old life and then like also my adult life. And so you've seen like all these different stages. So that's where all the titles come from.
Okay. I mean, I guess I can work with that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I do. I think, so I feel like I am, oh my gosh, I'm leaning into this thing again.
My gay uncle is which one?
No. I'm not the gunkle, but kind of. I am like the big brother / uncle
advisor.
You're kind of like, you know, I would say you're one of my older kids. Like you're one of my older kids. Like if I was a teenage dad, you could have been one of my kids.
You had to step up and lead.
I had to step up and lead. Yes. Yeah. But yes, you have many hats, and so within all those hats, he forgot a couple of things. So I'll just go ahead and let you all know. HBCU alum, Dillard University of Louisiana. You will say, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Well, golly, I tried.
You got it.
I mean, geez. In addition to that, he's co-founder of an organization called XO Eater. In addition to that, he is, like he said, my mentee, my little brother, I guess we become really good friends over the years. And so I'm happy to have you on the show. We've been talking about having you on for a while. And so one of the reasons why we talked about having you on was because, you know, what's our age differential?
About 15 years.
Okay, honey, it is not 15 years. Don't even. Don't. Mm-hmm. Don't do that. It's not 15. First,
you're going to school you up.
I'm only 41. 41. My birthday was June 30th.
I was like less 11 years.
It's something like that.
Yeah, I'm born 96.
Okay. Oh, you were born 96. I was born 84.
Yeah.
All right. So he's not good at math. Anyway, one of the things that we always discuss is we're both millennials. I am the older millennial. You all have heard me say plenty of times I'm a geriatric millennial. And Tevon is a younger millennial.
The last year.
And so we are similar but different at the same time. And so he, you know, likes to talk about me being, I guess, one of the older members of the Legitimaquah community. I'm a seasoned member of the Legitimaquah community, as he would say. And so I wanted to talk about that and
just list is outside for me. Like, you know, like you have experience in the Legitimaquah. Yeah. And so I have been able to, I always say that I have a privilege to have access and like to know you. And so a lot of like gay men in my age range, a lot of them don't have like mentors. They just have like older guys they may know. Mm-hmm. And so I like have somebody that I can like call on for like support, or also just like somebody that has either walked these shoes and have lived experiences. And so the privilege that I have is I can call on the phone and say, hey, I'm going through this, and you've already experienced that. Mm-hmm. And it's something very so particular as a Black gay man that I can't just like ask the women mentors in my life, the older women that I have in my life. And so you are a very particular type of person that I can go to for support. So for your lived experiences, where do you want to start?
Oh, I mean, you have a question?
Yes. So The biggest thing, I turned 30 next year.
Okay.
And it's so funny because I have friends who've been in their 30s or like a little bit older than me. And they make jokes that like, damn, you finna be old as bitch too next. Like, that's crazy. You're really stepping into this next chapter. It's not old, but it's like in the 22-year-old, that's when I met you at 22. And in my mind, I'm like, ooh, somebody is 30, like that's crazy. But now I'm stepping into that space and I've been able to see that like it's a blessing to your age. Like that is what people forget. And so now that I am stepping into this next chapter of my life, this is like, I think more so a conversation of like what I should be preparing for. As I step into year 30 next year, some things I should prepare for. And then I can like just think about as I like go through these next 6 months preparing for that age or the decade I'm stepping into.
So I'm probably the worst person to ask about preparing for 30. My 30th birthday, I can remember very vividly. We took a trip to Palm Springs. I'd never been to Palm Springs. I don't know. Okay. Geography is not my thing. Same. And I didn't realize Palm Springs was a damn desert. I figured it was since it was Palm. It said Palm Springs. So I figured, hey, it was gonna be a beach or something somewhere, and
It's dry.
it's dry as hell. And it was hot as hell. And I cried on my 30th birthday. And I cried on my 30th birthday as I was walking around the streets of Palm Springs. It was because I realized that at 30, all of my, all my friends were taking pictures on like yachts and shit and going here, doing this, like going out of the country. And I was in grad school.
Learning.
Right. Now, I always said it paid off, right? I had my PhD before 30, right? So, but it was just still like, I look back and I that's all I could account for. And so when you say, what do you prepare for at 30? I can say that at 30, that's when you start to get your stride a bit. By the end of 30, you're like, okay, things are starting to make sense now. But 30, you're still kind of figuring it out. You're not making some of the foolish mistakes that you made when you were in your 20s. Like you realize you just can't leave your job because you don't like the people, right? Like that's what you realize. So I think when you get to 30, you start to reflect a little bit more. You're like, okay, maybe I can't, go out to the club all night and then think I'm going to get up in the morning and be productive, right? Maybe I do need to proofread my stuff before I send it to, my manager versus sending a quick email, right? Like you just start to become a little bit more self-aware. And so if there's any advice I would give you, not just as a gay person, but just as a human being, right? It's just be taking this reflective moment and learn from what you've done in your 20s and make sure you don't do the same shit in your 30s. Because that is going to help position you for that, like I said, that tail end of your 30s where you're like, life makes more sense now. I see things falling into place where they're supposed to go.
Yeah, that's really, I feel that right now as I'm in this last year of my 20s. All of like the things I set out for myself were earlier into my 20s. I can say that I've done those things and gone above that. And how you kind of say like you had your education, that was like what you were good at and like what people knew you for. But I'm like, yeah, my friends are always saying like you're so career oriented. And it's like, okay, so what is love like that? Like what else is happening? And so I'm like, everything else is together. It's that one piece. And so it's not that I'm like looking for it, but it would be nice to have. So like my friends always say that some people need a man and some people just want one. And so before I like,
which one do you want? Or which ones
it'll be nice to have. So I don't need a man.
Or you don't want a man?
I would want one.
Okay.
But I don't need a man.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like I've done the career things. I'm still doing that. That's not gonna stop. But it's more so of like, what else comes with this life? As gay men, we have a different like experience of like what does our future look like? What does our next step look like? Like I always say, if I was a straight man, I know my pathway in life. I know that I'm supposed to go to school, get a job, find a woman, get married, buy a house, have a kid, and that is my trajectory in life. As a Black gay man, like I can still do those things, but I just don't. There's so few examples that I know of, but now I'm starting to see them. And so I always said that you are one of the examples that I can see as a Black gay man who is like creating their own pathway for themselves. When like you probably didn't have that pathway that you know that pathway existed, and you're creating that pathway right now. So
My pathway was though a Elin Harris book. So shout out to like the writers of the back in the day, like the Eric Jerome Dickey, the Elin Harris, and I can't countless others. I probably have some of the books up here in the library. I think they gave me the ability to imagine, right? And while I don't think that any of those sort of novels that I was reading as a kid, when I probably shouldn't have been reading them, like were talking about marriage, they weren't talking about children. What they were talking about at the time was kind of living a down low life to a certain degree, right? Like, or being the concubine to the down low dude, you know what I mean? But I think I also just was like, I don't see why, like, I don't know, even though it didn't exist, you're right, I didn't have a blueprint. Alan didn't have a blueprint. Many of us didn't have examples. And when we saw older gay men, it was like the very flamboyant, the very out there, ostentatious, like dude, that was just overly, I want to say feminine, but
yeah, I guess in what perspective? Like, see, we had like one viewpoint.
It was a guy who had a long do-rag and he would be waving his do-rag like it was his hair. It was a guy named Shan growing up in the towers that I can remember, and he was like overly gay, like, hey girl, like, and I remember even when I told my mother, I came out to my mother and she was like, why you didn't tell me? Like, I got gay friends like Shannon and, drag. I know drag queen. I was like, no, but that's not the type of gay that I want to be, right? That's not who I am. You're right. I didn't have those examples, but, and for all intents and purposes, I tell people all the time, I moved down to Atlanta to go to Morehouse College to find a woman, get married, have kids, and live whatever the picture life was. Like, I was going to get married in Danforth Chapel. I had it all planned out, right? So I got down here. They done took me to tracks. They got me out there with the strippers. It was horrible. Mike was there. We all were there. It was horrible. It was bad. It was just like, okay, that dream is out the door. But I think within all that, it didn't stop me from wanting to find someone to be with. And if I'm being honest with you, I think if I give you any advice, it would be to stop looking and just live. Because I think you keep trying to find that person and make people that person when you'll actually find that person living the life that you want to live, right? So if you like traveling, you might find somebody out while you're traveling. And now you know that person also likes to travel, right? If you like eating, go out to the restaurants, you might find somebody that likes eating too, right? And now you found a fellow foodie. If you like shopping, like whatever you like to do, go to those places and like live your normal life. Live the life that you would want to live if that person was with you. But don't like expect like, oh, I need to go here because I heard there's singles night. No, you don't want to go to the singles place, but that
yeah, but when I go out with my friends, they always say, oh, look for me for the line to find us some guys. I'm like, I don't do that. Like, I just want to go out and have a good time. And like if something happens, sure. But like my intentions, like for example, I love going on walks. And so, I think it's like, okay, I'm in that moment, I'm doing things that I enjoy. It's like it could happen, but I'm not going there to look for it. And so I like that. Like, I think the issue is that like dating apps is just I don't personally like them. And I feel like you said, try to find somebody and build that person into that mode of who you want it to be. Even outside dating apps to social media as well, just like, okay, I found somebody I like them. And it's like you really don't know them. Like you know like a one side of them from like social media or how they're presenting themselves to you on like a dating app. And it's like, okay, you could get lucky and that becomes your person, but you may have a better chance by just doing things that you enjoy and like find them in that moment. Like that is what I'm fighting to realize. And you like helping to elevate like that thought.
So it's I will say, and I'll be interested to know just from the other sippers, like
Let me know.
What, like, well, also, like, how are y'all meeting people now? Cause look, I've been out of the game for a bit, and
Shut up.
well, I mean, I didn't even get it claimed or anything, but no, I've been out of the game for a bit, but me and Alan met online, right? And
But also describe what that means to be no line in a totally different era. Like,
oh, don't, because
I wasn't even trying to
I
describe it like that.
felt like you were about to say something that was.
You tell your story.
So I will say that we didn't have apps, right? We had websites. And the websites that we went to, you had to pretty much, like, we didn't get any notifications. You had to log on every day in between class to see who sent you a damn note and respond back. And they not there sitting at their computer waiting for you. And if they were, it would seem a little creepy, right? Because, like, what the hell are you doing all day that you responded to my stuff immediately? And so they just game of cat and mouse almost until y'all eventually met up. Those sites were not made for. There were no algorithms. There was no swipe, to your right, swipe to your left. You had it was very seedy. It was very seedy. And you had a profile picture.
Now I was gonna ask you, I had like actual photos, or it was just like word.
This was in the era of the flip phones.
Okay. So it was blurry.
So it was blurry. It was not the best quality photo. People were not posting nudes. That was just not what you did. You actually wanted to see the face. Like, show me your face.
But we had no face. So like,
yeah, no, back in the day. So there were people those were the DL dudes who would not show face, but that was just risque.
Like, you want me? I'm not going to do anything with you or see you in person. I didn't want to see.
Well, and so I wish I could act out how it used to be, like because there would be you would take risks, and so you would go sometime and meet up with someone if you didn't see their face, and if you didn't see their face, and then you got to their door and you saw what they looked like, you'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, wrong door." Oh, sorry, I think I got the wrong cash, right?
Definitely have moments. So it's bad.
He'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, no." I'm like, "Oh, I thought I just saw you. No, that wasn't me. No, that wasn't me." Like, you would just get at it. Like, that's what you would do. As soon as they open the door, you'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I think I got the wrong door."
Bye.
And it was just turn around.
And then what if you see them again, like in public? You just act like you didn't know them at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. I mean, it's very similar to like how apps are today. It's just like how you said, you're dealing with the algorithm, you're dealing with, all these extra photos people want you to show. And it's like this endless, we literally spend so much time on our phones where it's like you're waiting for that alert to come in or that constant notification. And how you just say like you were just living your life. And then like, if you so happen to be back by a computer and go check it, okay, I got a message. But now with these dating apps, it's like everything is so constant.
It seems like everybody's looking for a little validation. Like, everybody's looking for their ego to be stroked. Like
the best profile.
It's like a bunch of pygmies. Like, hey, look at me. Look at
I travel.
Or look, my butt is really, really big. Or look at my body. Or compliment me. Or it's just like, okay, what's happening? And so I would be interested to know how y'all don't go out like and just post up on somebody and buy somebody a drink.
What do I have? I have not. I don't do that.
Why you don't buy people drinks, or you never had somebody buy you a drink?
So I have. I never know how to like. I'm not like what. Thank you. Like, what am I supposed to do?
That's what you say.
Thank you so much.
Exactly. I go. Or thank you so much. Or if they're cute, then you kind of thank you so much. And what's your name?
Yes. It's yeah. That's very true. That's real. I think what I would say is like, I don't want to say it's hard, but it's like, I like going to like public places. I don't like going places because it's a gay spot.
Okay.
I like this go to places I like to have
It's very mixy, in 2025.
And it's certain times you don't really know who is gay. Like, the men today, they're like, I love their expressing themselves. But sometimes I just go, you see, it's confusing. So I don't want to like, and I'm not talking about somebody buying me a drink. I'm talking about somebody who like is really deep into conversation with me and the vibe is great. And I'm just like, I really want to continue this conversation. But then it's like, oh, bro, I'm not even gay. Like, I'm not even, then why did you just do all that? Like, why would you, if you like, it used to be this like and picture thing. I didn't have we kind of, step back from that. But back in like, 2016, 2017, you like a picture, they like a photo, and then now somebody messaged you. And so I have like had guys like do that, then like, oh, I'm not gay. Well, maybe it's just the.
So they do the like a picture thing.
It's about lately there was this guy. So I went to deal with it was this guy Xavier. And we will only see each other like going out in public and going like clubs and stuff. And so I stopped him one time and probably was like, "Hey, it's you. Like, what's up?" Let me act like he did not know me. I'm like, "You have literally like my photos constantly for the past like 2 to 3 weeks." That man said it wasn't his page. It wasn't him. You literally are the one posting. It says 2016, 2017. It's not 2023 where you got boxed like crazy. So that was you. But then, being that I like, approached them in public, it was like, oh no, I only actually want to talk to you behind the app or like behind closed doors, instead of like having a conversation in person. It's a really weird dynamic. I don't really know how to describe it, which I didn't describe them down, but it was weird.
I mean, but is that commonplace? Like currently, is that
as I would say more so of like, I guess what I'm describing is that there are men who like to have a persona in person and like act like they are not into men or like not gay. And so if you are doing this whole masculine thing and you even are associated with a gay man, now your whole like status in like I guess your community is questionable. Like people are looking at you like, is he gay now?
so? Okay,
Does that make sense?
no, it does make sense, but I also want to just enlighten folks because there is like this recent, I don't want to say phenomena, but there are straight dudes who purposely bait gay dudes, right?
They don't talk like that where it's hurt.
But there's like, because I saw recently where there's one guy, I guess he posts stuff and he may have like one of those subscription sites.
Day for pay.
He was just like, I don't even fuck with y'all.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, he was like, I only do that because y'all pay good. Yeah, y'all pay good or something like that. And so there are a lot of like, we need to control our dollars.
Yeah,
folks within the legitimate community. Because there are a lot of people who are saying, oh, I'll just make money off of you all, or I'll do it for the attention. I'll do it to stroke my ego. And so that community in itself is growing. I actually don't think that, like, I feel like the DL community might be dwindling and that community is growing because folks are like, oh, I'm just going to make money off of it now. And in addition to that, these folks, like, it's like you said, you're so confused. Like, what move should I be making? Because if everybody out here just...
Well, I have realized too is that there are men who are gay and like are actually like they live a gay. Sometimes people say like gay is not a lifestyle, but gay is actually a lifestyle to me. Like it's something that you're fully committed to. And there are some men who just want to have sex with men. And it's like you don't want to be part of the community at all. You just want to have like that access. And so that's where the level of confusion comes to. Where it's like I actually want to build a future. I want to, build with someone, but they're not looking for that. And so it's like, is there an age that they like start looking for things, or like they start taking dating serious? Where it's like, are you going to be 40 and 50 still playing on the same games? Or are you going to be someone who's like, hey, I want to build something, and I know that like it's not always defined about what is building as a gay man relationship look like, but it does exist. And I think I always say with you is that you are building, you built something for yourself of what you wanted to do. And there are some gay men who may not know that exists. When I say that, I mean more so what does a long-term relationship with two men look like? At what age do men, when you're dating men, or you want to pursue a man, what age do you finally take it serious? And it's not just this cat and mouse game back and forth. Like, do you think there's an age, or it's just like it's some people who are into it, some people are not, or they want that lifestyle?
I mean, I know people who I guess I could say who I was in college with who wanted to be with someone at the time. I guess being married to a man wasn't legal, but I think that we wanted it. Like we wanted long-term commitment. But I do think that, like,
you all's generation, y'all are a little bit more free flowing and fluid.
They look too fluid.
And we're gonna talk about that because I remember you told me something. I'm about to bring it up. I'm bringing it up soon, so get ready. But no, I think, is there an age? That's a good question, Mike. Is there an age? Was there an age that you? Because I don't think I just always knew I wanted to be with somebody for a long time. I didn't really, and I'm not the right. Once again, I don't know if I'm the right person to ask because I was like trying to be locked down early. Like I was acting like the people I saw, the girls I saw in school that was like, I'm just here to find me my husband. That's why I'm coming to go to school. And I'm just going to go ahead and, find me somebody. Oh, I found me Paul. He's going to law school at UGA. And
She's locked in.
and she's locked in now, living in Charleston, South Carolina. That's nobody I know. That's like my bad interpretation of living over. You did a good job.
Yeah.
I could have been that. Sorry, I'll get booed. But no, I don't know if there's an age per se, but I think it's the individual, right? What does the individual want? And I think that there are some people who are with the identity. That's a good question. I think it looks different. It doesn't look like what you may think it looks like.
I did. So I saw this video the other day, and this guy was saying how, like, as a gay man, you have to learn to actually like gay men. As in, like, his video, don't quote me on all of this, but he was saying that your first attraction to men, it is typically a heteronormative, like straight kind of man, and that is your attraction to men. And so when you are learning to like love a gay man or to be attracted to gay men, that's why we all like go through the whole like, I'm looking for a masculine man. And it's like, you have to love gay men. Your attraction to like this straight looking man is something that you have to unlearn. And so I'm probably doing a bad job explaining what this man was saying. Is but he was just saying like, from your first crush was not some feminine like gay man, but you should be able to look at them and say, hey, we're the same, and I should be able to love you. But I'm trying to explain this in the best way possible. What he was trying to say was that when you are like, finally understanding like, I am gay. It's not some gay guy that you're like attracted to. You're attracted to a straight presenting man. And so you're always trying to find that. And that's why like there's like these cycles of being a gay man where it's like, okay, I realize I'm attracted to a gay man. And now you start with the whole like DL thing. And it's like, no, we have to be in community with each other and like love each other. As you have to unlearn like that physical attraction to a man. It should not only be that masculine presenting man. And I hope you get that.
I can't say how people choose their preference, right, for what they like.
But think about it for yourself. Like the first man you were attracted to, was it a gay man or was it like a straight man you thought was attractive?
I think it was reflective of the men that I grew up seeing. Mm-hmm. And so the men that I grew up seeing were not flamboyant men. Mm-hmm. No. And so I think that's probably, I agree from that regard because the men that were around me were not flamboyant gay men. Yeah. And so, yes, what I was attracted to was probably more aligned with what I grew up seeing on a day-to-day, which makes sense to me. So it's kind of like one of those things like, yeah, that makes sense. I would find what I see on a day-to-day attractive.
And you just have to unlearn that, where it's like, why? Unlearn it as in like, that's not always what gay will look like. Yeah, you're asking a very great question because not all gay men are the same. And so, yes, there are straight presenting men who exist that are gay, and maybe straight presenting men sounds very, I should say that word, but more so we all present in different ways. And so those things, we all like what we like, yes. But unlearning that, I don't want to say it's wrong, but it's like it's a very limited mindset that we have.
So I think what I hear you saying is,
please pull it out of me because I'm trying to get to what I'm saying.
What I think I hear you saying is you have to expand your thoughts of what you're attracted to, maybe. Like, because I think you're limiting your attraction based upon what you grew up seeing.
Yeah, and like your own sort of attraction.
And so, but there's, I guess the rainbow has many flavors.
Yes.
And so
instead of focusing specifically on the flavor that you're familiar with, why don't you taste some other parts of the rainbow?
The TikTok will be out. I gotta find a man's TikTok, but yeah, that's exactly what he was trying to say. And just, we have to do a better job as a community.
I could get with that. I do think that we tend to narrowly focus our interest on this one thing, right? Like
That's like social currency in our community.
like when people present their profiles, no fast, no films, no
Yeah, it's like I'm looking for masks, and it's like
yeah, mask for mask, and then
that's
you gonna
what
meet after then you gonna meet them,
and it's like
sis.
we together.
We in this.
And so that's what I mean. Like everybody's trying to fit that one description. And it's like that's not true.
I can remember when. So what's funny is I can recall when we used to go out back when I was out in college, and there were a lot of dudes that were mask presenting. And you weren't supposed to dance, right? Especially like so if you were masculine, you weren't supposed to dance. But I really like dancing, and so I would just be like,
He's not one of us.
and pretty much they were like, he ain't no diva.
He is a diva.
He is a diva. No, I mean, I thought that's how it was. And so I can remember one time it was, I was at the club, 708 to be exact. And I was the spot back in the day. And so I remember dancing up on this dude, and the dude was like, ah. And I was like, what? You sitting here, you lined up against the wall with the other tray. I chose you. Right. I thought you. And he's like, no, but I'm over here looking for the trade. I'm gonna be perpetrating.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to find them along the wall. I was like, oh my bad, I'm sorry. But yes, I'm just like you.
Yeah.
Say all that to say, I do think that we sometimes limit our options because we're simply looking for this one thing and not realizing that what is yours or what is intended for you may not look the way that you intend for it to look. There we go. And so for that reason, yeah, we should open up our options if you want to.
Yeah.
Some people may want to continue to chase what it is that they want. And I mean, by all means, within that, I would also say, I don't know. I'm having mixed views now as I think about it, because somebody would say, oh, well, if you're not finding what you need within the Black space, then you should go to another space.
You're making a really good point, because it's like we're jumping to that space without opening our actual perspective of like what a gay man can be. And like,
so it's almost like I'm not even, if I can't find a masked Black dude, I'm just gonna go find me a white man.
And the thing is, that like, there's no limitation. So like how you said that guy at the club who was dancing around, he's like push you away. If a white man probably stepped and did the same thing to him, he'll be like, okay, well, this is different. I'm looking for something different. The white man is not put in the same box as you are. And it's like you have to be this mass presenting man. Is that
No, I mean, well, it's interesting when we talk about this. I think about some of the, I guess, Black dudes that we do know, like celebrities even, that I've seen. And I'm not going to say I'm not a little disappointed, but, people love who they love.
Yeah.
But I do wonder that when I see some of the Black gay men in particular, when they go to find, I guess, or date someone outside of their race, I do ask the question of, was there not anyone within your race that you was on that level? And I've had experiences actually, but I can remember. So Alan works in finance, and I can remember one time we went to this human rights campaign event, and as we sat at the table, human rights campaign historically, like their galas and stuff, were predominantly attended by like white gays, and me and Alan, a gay couple, 2 Black men showed up at the table, and you could see that all the people of color had the white significant other. And the look that they gave us, like, and so you know me, and I don't really pull out like Dr. Keys often, right? Like that's the one where I don't even announce myself that way.
Mhm.
But that night, because of the fact that they looked at him like, bro, you ain't get the memo?
Sound white, bro.
Yeah, hello. You coming in here with this caramel drop. But no, I remember that vividly, and it was very uncomfortable. And so I do ask the question sometimes. And once again, I get it. You love who you love, but I can ask the question of myself, like, and I've been in situations too. I remember when I considered dating outside of my race. And the one time I did, I was in college, I was working at the bank, and dude met me online. We didn't even meet each other yet. And I think he asked me a question like, "Oh, so what do you do?" And I was like, "Oh, I work at the bank." And so because he was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm trying to go on a date." I was like, "Oh, well, these are the hours that I work. I work at the bank." I said something like that. Dude automatically went to, "Oh, since you work at the bank, you have access to a lot of information." And I said, "Okay." And he said, "Oh, well, if you could just get me a couple of people's information."
Yeah, yo.
I was like, what? And he was like, I'm just trying to make a better life for you and me. I was like, I don't even know you.
Very, very bold.
But you also thought I was stupid.
Yeah.
And so for that, it was like, I said, from that point on, like, absolutely not. Like, no. Like, you think I'm dumb. And I just, I don't know how we got on the topic of interracial dating, but, love who you love, do what you do.
Open up your perspective.
Open up your perspective, but I mean, don't open it too far.
If you want to, sure. Everybody has their own,
Everybody's looks are different.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying don't love who you love.
You got a point you wanted to make earlier when I was saying that it was something about
these ethically non-monogamous folks.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't forget. Oh, you had to just give me the cue.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember we were talking, and you were telling me this was in your DC days. I think
We'll say that.
Oh, okay. We're gonna say that for now. Okay, yeah. So I thought it was at least, but I remember we were talking, and you were saying you were getting to know someone, and then getting to know that person. From the gate, they were interested in being ethically non-monogamous.
Yes. I was like, wait, but
I was about to ask you. So what is that?
basically, in my mind, it means that you are in a partnership with somebody, like y'all are dating, and you wanna be committed to someone in a monogamous relationship, but you want to step outside of the relationship. And as long as I let my partner know, that's the ethical side. Is that correct?
I mean, it's you all decide. I guess
It was all like cheating.
yes, and you all decide what is ethical and what is not ethical for your circumstances. And so, but essentially, you want to have an open relationship, but just have a main.
Yeah. And so it's like I feel like it's a strange way to start a relationship with somebody because I think you should have to like build a foundation with someone and how you actually be able to build a foundation with somebody with the mindset of like, yeah, I might be with you, but also there to everybody else. I think you should be with somebody, commit a relationship with somebody like, for maybe a good amount of time. And then you open that door. I'm not saying that I want that, but I'm saying that makes a little bit more sense to me than saying, hey, well, I'm going to go, get a relationship with somebody or get to know somebody. I'm gonna also have that door open. It's like just date. Don't be a relationship at all. Like just date and just let that be. And so for me, like I'm not sure if that's like a common thing like that you saw growing up throughout your like, college or like 20s. But it is very common right now where there's so many gay men that all of them is like, I want a, ethical non-monogamous relationship or I want to be poly. And I'm like, I feel like I thought one person said it, everybody else just started saying it too.
So, I kind of asked myself this question. All of this is because we are living differently than how we lived before. Where people aren't living in fear, people aren't living in the dark, people are living their lives in the open. And as a result of being able to live their lives in the open, people are moving differently. And I think in moving differently, people are exploring in defining relationships in ways that they want to define them. And I think that it's on a spectrum now.
Yeah.
And so there you go. There are some people who are saying they want to be in a traditional committed relationship, one that they may have seen their grandparents and their parents in, or that they've seen their grandparents or their parents aspire to have, right? And then there are others who are saying, hey, I want to be able to just float, okay? I just want somebody to make sure to check on me. So if you don't hear from me in 2 to 3 days, you call a folks to come, like you got a key to my house. Like they want the odd couple type love. They want, three is company type love. I'm dating myself with these shows. But they want those they want companionship. But they want to be able to, like, I guess the act of sex, to do it with whomever they want to do it with. Now, while I understand all aspects of the spectrum, because I mean everybody's entitled to live their life the way they want to live it, I do say the thing that I look at marriage and relationships as being very much like these are business decisions. Like you're looking to find somebody to be with that's going to help enhance your life. Or like I've been watching. I'm a part of the Guild. I love me some of the Gilded Age, and I love Bertha. I think that one of the things that I noticed in watching like the Gilded Age is that like her decisions, even for her daughter, and I read like the actual story of who it's based off of. And even like while it wasn't big, these were business decisions for the sake of continuing to elevate their family's wealth, to make sure that their family maintains generational wealth. It wasn't about like being married off. And not to say that I'm saying like make these decisions for your kids, like sell your kids, right? I'm not saying that. But I do think that when you think about the people that you love or the people that you want to have around you, you should be thinking about like, okay, how are we making sure we build each other up? Right. And that could be a mentor mentee relationship or a spouse relationship or a best friend relationship. Right. But it's all about how we continue to feed into each other and elevate each other up for the sake of our ecosystem.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to knock it. Like, if that's what people want, go ahead and go do it. It seemed like there was a disconnect that I'm seeing when I talk to like actual couples that are like married and what I see online or like when I like talk to people in person. Because I talk to like actual couples, they're like, that's not, what do I want to say? They state that the whole as if we're non-monogamous, they were like poly relationships. That's not what they want. This is like a lot of the couples that I've been able to meet, they're like, I want my man, that's my man, and that's just what it is. And it seems like the 20 to early 30-year-old days, everybody has the same mindset that I want these untraditional relationships, but it's like your relationship can be untraditional, as in like you're not thinking about the whole gender roles piece. You're not thinking about like, what you saw your parents be or what your grandparents are. And I think that is a level of untraditional relationships that we're able to build and create. And just seems like it's like a popular topic that has come about. And everybody just saying they want their relationship to be like that. And I'm like, where'd you learn that from? That's my biggest thing. Like, where'd you learn that from?
So if I'm honest with you, I don't have the capacity to take on additional like relationships. Like I'm not sure you saw the guy, the black dude more recently in Florida, I think it was, who had like got married to 3 different women.
Yes.
And was arrested because that's against the law. I'm like, I don't have the mental stamina to like go and hop from person to person. I don't want it. Yeah. Like, and what's funny is I remember like some time ago, me and Howard were joking, and he said something like, first of all, I don't even like paying for your difference, let alone go and having to pay for somebody else's. Like, that would be stupid. That's ridiculous. Like, I'm just wasting money. Like,
is he coming?
Right. Like, with eggs, the price of what? Like, so it's funny. I think I don't have the mental capacity to juggle. And because I have Avery, I have my career, I have my marriage, I got all these things. I got y'all. Like, ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot.
But hey, if people want it, go crazy.
But if you have the capacity, do by all means.
For me in that moment, it was like, well, I need to shut this conversation down because I don't want to experience that type of relationship. And so it's like, that door is going to be shut because that's the mindset that they have. And so it's like, when I do, see it, like for example, I'm on like Tinder or something or the day now, and now on Tinder they let you put if you want date or
They say
not.
geolocation applications because we're not going to give credit unless we're being sponsored or something.
Yeah. So dating apps, how dating apps they let you now put like if you are a when you want a monogamous relationship, do you want a poly relationship, do you want an ethical non-monogamous relationship, and you can now put that. And so I'm swiping left to that because I know I don't want that. And I'm not knocking it. Other people want to have it, sure, go do it. But that just it shuts me down of like wanting to interact with them because that's not my ego. But it's like, are you open to other things? And why are you so heavily committed on that? It's been like,
I mean, so you shut them down from the beginning?
yes, I don't want that. And it's like the person I was talking to at the time, it was like they were so heavily committed to wanting an ethical non-monogamous relationship. They were saying like, not saying that would be for us, but it was saying like their next relationship would be that. And I was like, well, I guess I'm not the next relationship because I'm not doing that.
So was it that they wanted it in the short term, or is that like a long term goal?
I should have asked that question. I should have asked one, where did this idea come from? But two, is this a long term thing? Is this something that you want to experience for your next relationship? So I just kind of shut it out. I was like, okay, I will not ask that question again, and we're just gonna keep doing this, dancing around. But at some point, like it came to a point where I was like, you know what, this is not for me. And because I don't want to shift what they're interested in. And I'm like, hey, let's just move forward because let's move past this because I want to try to change your mindset. And that's why now when I'm like seeing people on dating apps saying that that's what they want, I just swipe left. I'm like, I'm not on the energy to try to get you to choose me, like choose me. No, it's like, I'm not.
I mean, I agree. It's not your, once again, that's why going back to what I said earlier, just live your life, right?
Yeah.
And like be who you are. And you'll find people in your orbit while you're existing being who you are. So if you're in greatness attracts greatness, right? Or greatness begets greatness.
Yeah.
So I think that with that in mind, you don't have to do all that other extra sort of thinking about trying to find somebody.
It get too close to begging. Like that's like I only like about 2 people a year. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna get I know that's not crazy, but
I mean, oh, okay.
I like two when I say like somebody like only 2 people a year, it means that like I actually have an attraction to you or I want to actually pursue something. I can see somebody, they think they're attractive, but I don't want to pursue anything or I won't pursue anything. So actively liking somebody, I limit that to like 2 people a year, but I hate that experience. It's like I put myself in this mindset that nothing's gonna come from this. Right. Yes, I have this like dream of, yes, the delusional thing we do, where it's like, okay, we meet today, tomorrow. In my mind, I'm planning a wedding. I'm planning everything in my mind of like, wow. I always ask a little hyphen past my name. So it's like Tevon Blair hyphen whatever the person's last name is gonna be. And so it's like this mindset thing that I don't like to experience because then it's like, okay, I've actually thought about pursuing you or making this a thing. And then when the conversation kind of dies off, or like you feel like you're the one that is showing a little more intention than the other person, I'm not what you beg. I'm not what you really push you forward. So like I do have friends who like are in relationships and they say, yeah, oh, like when the guys are like talking about how they became a partner, and they say, yeah, this man, he was so persistent. He just kept, pushing and pushing and pushing. That would not be my storyline. I was not.
Because you're not going to push.
I'm not gonna. I will push if I show some attention on it. Is there's attention also being shown on the other side? But I'm not gonna keep like it's not. When I be hearing stories of people talking about their partner was being persistent and like really, pressing for them to get the partner's attention. Because there was one story I saw where the guy was like, "Yeah, I paid him dust," and he just kept pushing. That will never be my storyline.
I mean,
If that's what it takes, it will not be for me.
well, somebody has to be a pusher.
But let's both push.
I think
Then maybe I'm on the show. See how they chose me.
yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say because yeah. So, I mean, Alan was the pusher.
And I love it. Like that's what I'm saying. I want somebody that's going to like I do so much in my life, like professionally, and I'm always like traveling or just busy. And so there's someone that's saying, okay, Tevon, I see you're busy. Like I always say my love language is quality time or acts of service.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm always so busy, show me that you can like literally make my life easier. and interrupt, like say halfway to I know you're traveling, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm gonna let it be known that I actually like you and I want to pursue you. But if you are not doing any of that, I'm not gonna be. I don't have the time or energy to try to go above and beyond after I'm already showing that I'm interested in you. And so that's why I say, well, it would not be my storyline. Continue pressing and pressing and pressing against somebody's interest. So this fifth right?
Well, I don't think you're begging to be in. Pursuing somebody is not begging.
But yes, yes, correct. But pursuing someone when there's no intention on the other side.
Or you saying there's no interest? Yeah, I guess there's no interest.
As in, like, you're dealing with somebody who maybe is either so used to other people, like, really. I have a perfect example. So I have a friend who he gets guys like that. Never, he always stay in a relationship, but he tells me like, yeah, I sent so many messages or so many DMs to this person, and they finally just phobic. It was like, bet, well, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not. I will have no documentation that I was pressed on you like that for you to finally get for me to finally get your attention. Like that's just just doing too much. And so maybe that is the piece that I'm missing. But it's like also if that's what it takes, I just will not be through all of that. Or that's really just pressing and pressing and pressing, get somebody attention when they're literally telling you, leave me alone. Or like they don't know how to say that, but you're waiting for them to say that. And so I will never be in that position to you.
Well, that's a different person. That's a different person.
Correct. So it's the kind of yes, that's a whole separate situation. I think what I'm trying to explain is that I want it to be a mutual like attraction or mutual like interest and wanting to get to know somebody. I don't want it to be like I'm also being like I hate to act like I'm bothering somebody. And if you evidently feel that way, baby, I'm gone. I moved on the next phase. And that's why I only 2 people a year. Is that you see it?
Are you asking me? Do I?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
is that my problem though? Is that why I'm not like, pursuing guys for real because I'm not pushing? Wow. That's crazy. Lay it all out.
I mean, I just think that if you're not being a little vulnerable,
that there we go. Thank you. Let's get to that.
I really don't know where to. First off, I would be interested to know why. See, I get your logic around the time and energy. It's a lot when you put a lot of time and energy into learning someone and understanding them and envisioning yourself, opening yourself up to them. Yet and still, I think like if you're not allowing people to see you, then how do you expect to see them?
That's real. I think like when you said the whole vulnerability thing, that's very real. Like being vulnerable with somebody, it's a really it's a weird feeling that I have because it's just a really weird.
But you do realize that that's like all of being in a relationship. It's like that is a relationship.
Yeah.
You are vulnerable with this person that you're committing to be.
I want to be vulnerable for the right person.
But you won't know who the right person is if you're not just a little.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying put your whole self out there, put your whole heart like outside of your body, but you kind of have to expose yourself a bit just to kind of like, you got to show yourself.
Do you remember? Did you watch the movie Afro with Taraja?
Yes, I bet you.
And so you remember her being inside of the house, like by herself, and she just like she's freaking out inside the house, like she's on the social media app and just looking, and just like she's like behind a few of the screen, just looking at stuff. And I don't want to say that's how I'm thinking. I imagine myself being, because like I didn't gave this person so much, and like now the time that I was not with you. And so it's just like I do not like being vulnerable because it's like from my experience, I know where this is going to go. Where it's like now I have wasted my time. I give it all of these it's these weird emotions that come up. Or like feelings. and someone who's focused so heavily on like career or like it's like different.
But you're just saying that. You keep saying that, hun. You keep saying, oh, because I'm focused on my career and I'm focused on. No, you can have all the things that you want to have. You have to decide what the ratios are to get what you like. You can have a career. You can have a love life. Like, don't. No, that's you're saying yes, but that's not what you just said.
No. You confused my word.
Oh, okay. Tell me what you said.
I'm saying is that it's someone who has been so focused on career, finding time to like build up. Maybe you wouldn't say all that. Finding time, you gonna break your neck doing all that. You see that, bro? What I'm saying is that when I finally am being vulnerable with somebody and it goes nowhere, it's like, ew, I just wasted I wasted 2 weeks. But 2 weeks is like,
And that's problematic in itself.
yes, it's very problematic. But it's like, now I wasted 2 weeks, so I couldn't have focused on
Man, wait a minute. Yeah. We've been talking about 2-week relationship.
No. We have not been talking about 2-week relationships. What I'm saying is that things can be going great for like maybe a month or two. And then also, I will be very frank, is that I'm someone who I've never really dated, but I also dated someone in the same city as me. So these are also like long distance situationships too.
Is this like a common practice? Like
Very common where it's like, it'd be like, dang, the person that I want, they are miles away. They are in, either I'm in Atlanta, they be
I can't start a relationship like that. I can't.
But I feel like relationships, the first few weeks, first few months, you're just getting to know somebody.
I can't.
And so I need to learn who you are. We gotta communicate.
No.
And then we can take a trip. Like,
no. I can't.
But I would love to find somebody in the same city. Like, let's figure that out. Let's just Texas go hang out. But I don't know.
But I think, once again, I can't say that I would even know where to begin to start looking, because people are a lot more upwardly mobile than they were before. I mean, folks are traveling and I hear this even from the folks who travel. Oh, I want to find somebody to be with. Well, you're never home.
Yeah.
So where you gonna find
they
them?
have some social media make it a little bit harder too, is that we have so much access to people across the country, across the world. And so you find attraction to somebody that is in a whole different city as you. And so that could be where the issue comes in as well.
I will say, back in the day, I asked an elder, like, well, why were y'all marrying these, the men that y'all were marrying? And it was like, we didn't know we had options. And I had so many options. And now you have so many options. And now with social media, you see people on the other side of the country, right? In different countries even. Like the number of people who are from other countries who are coming here because they see folks, that they're attracted to.
Yeah.
You get a little sponsor. Now you got somebody from the DR living in your house. I've seen that actually.
That's crazy.
You see some crazy stuff on Facebook, or somebody from the Philippines, yeah.
So yeah, I do actively want to date, and I understand that I need to be a little bit more vulnerable. What does that look like? Who knows? I ain't gonna be vulnerable, right?
No, I'm not saying you're not gonna be vulnerable. I think that I will say, I mean, that it depends. I'm just saying, just be open. And go with the flow. Maybe that's the vulnerable part. Because what I heard you say was, once I get a liking to somebody, exactly. And so maybe stop planning the wedding, right? Maybe just take it day by day, because you get disappointed in the person. And once you get disappointed in the person,
I say disgusted. Once I'm disgusted,
but that's why I say just take it day by day. Because it's like, hey, I like you today. Because the fact of the matter is that when you're in a relationship with somebody, I don't like you every day. There are going to be days where I don't like you at all, right? There are going to be days, like, I used to have this rule, and for the most part, I still have the rule, like, I don't like to go to bed angry.
Yeah.
Because I might die. And do you really want that on your conscience, right? Like, do you really want the fact that you done pissed me off on your conscience? And so I used to try to be like not go to bed angry. But sometimes you got to go ahead and you might have to go to bed angry, right?
Yeah.
But I say I like to say, you may wake up and be like, I still don't like you today. 24, 48 hours went by and we had a chance to talk. We understand each other a little bit better and I like you. So I say all to say every day you're not going to like the person. And I will say that's what worked for me.
Yeah.
Right. What worked for me was to stop looking, like I told you earlier. What worked for me was to take every day like it was a new day and know that there are going to be some days that you might piss me off. Real. And if I'm being honest with you, the last thing I will say, and I kind of said this, would be vulnerable. Something I did as well. Because I was in a relationship with someone previously and similar situation, dude was older, but was like, oh yeah, you should come, stay with me. And I was like, well, well, yeah, right. I moved off campus actually to go stay with you. That's why I said, don't make the stupid mistake you made in your 20s or the 30s. Because I was like, oh yeah, I'll go moving with you. Dude was on the websites. I can't even say the apps. Dude was on the website.
She has sort of lay your name.
Yeah, but once I called,
How was that last?
Oh, I called him out on it, and so he kicked me out. So we had to leave.
So yeah.
So be vulnerable. I say to go back to that was the third point. I'll say be vulnerable because I took that trauma and brought it back with me into when I first met Alan, and I couldn't and he even said like I'm not the dude that you were just saying. Like so, I need you to calm down.
But I think too, him being able to say that is real because sometimes it's like a lack of communication that people have. And it's by just communicate what's on your mind or what you want to say. And sometimes when we don't get the communication, we just like disappear and we never really address like why things didn't work out or like why there's certain reaction that you had, how I didn't like that. So I think it's more so communication. Yes, vulnerability is very important, but also communicate on both sides.
It's all about communication.
It's all about communication.
But Pete, you do realize that everybody does not know how to communicate.
And that's what pissing me off.
But we're all on a journey. And so you have to have grace.
Sometimes I'm sending a message, I'm not looking for a response. I just got to say what's on my mind. Like, I just need to vocalize and get it out. I can't have the words sit on my chest. I got to just say it out loud.
But I ultimately think that communication is actually...
I'm sorry. I gotta say what happened.
So, y'all, we recorded, and Mike back there on his phone, and the first time, it must be on IG. And so the first time we heard it, we kept going. We actually did really, really well.
Everybody looked up.
Everybody looked up, and Mike was like, "Oh, my bad," right? Like he got to get a look like my bad. So we kept going. Then we're getting into the conversation, and then it comes on again, and at this point, he can't even shut the shit off. So he's trying to shut it off. Me and Demond are trying to continue to go. And we couldn't at this point because it was just obvious that Mike fucked up.
My feelings hurt.
Thank you, Mike.
And then you're going to look at me and start laughing.
All right. We got that out. Thank you. With that opportunity.
Communicate.
Yes. So at the end of the day, communication is a critical skill or critical thing that you need to, emphasize or exercise when you're in a relationship. I do think that, but you're learning how to communicate. You're learning how to communicate your feelings. So you're about communicating yourself with yourself. You're learning about how to communicate yourself to somebody else, right? And so I think it also ultimately goes back to grace, right? Giving yourself grace, giving the person that you're with grace, but also accepting that you're gonna like every day I'm learning something more about myself, and we're on this journey of learning each other. And that's where the grace comes in once again, because if you accept that, I am going to accept that I may not like you. Like I said this to you all before. There is no such thing as unconditional love unless it's the love you have between a parent and a child, right? The love that you have for the person that you're with, that love is conditional. I could wake up one day and say to Alan, I don't love you anymore. But I choose to wake up every day and say, I love you. I choose to look for something to love about you. I choose to make this work because I choose to want to be with you.
Yeah.
Avery, on the other hand, that's not a choice. That's like that this child is of us. It's our child. Like, what do you mean? No, that's unconditional love. Like, no matter what happens, I'm going to love this child for the rest of our lives. And so I go back to your point, when you're dating someone or you're getting to know someone, you have to be able to, as Beyonce would say, accept someone for their flaws and all. But you have to also understand what flaws you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept. And so, like you said earlier, ethical non-monogamy, I'm not willing to accept, right? At least not initially. That's what I heard him say.
I did not say that,
but
it's a no for me.
Okay, it's a no for him. All right, we have the clarity that there you have it.
Yes.
But I will say you have to know that. Like, what are those things? But also know that the dating pool is different, right? Also know that what people are prioritizing are different. But also know that what you want, there is also somebody out there who wants the same thing. Like, also don't give up on trying to find love. This has been a very fun, I guess we've laughed, I've cried, conversation. And so I really thank you for coming on the show. This won't be the last time. Of course, I hope that, you'll continue to be a friend of the show. And thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you. And for supporting me as your older mentor, big brother, gunkle.
Yes. Advisor
of all things. So thank you.
Thank you for having me. It's been a great conversation.
So on that note, y'all, it's been real. I've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this conversation as well. And until next time.
Wait, not even next time. You know people. Why you ain't back when I heard that, a lot of people found their partners through connections and their friends putting them on. So what's happening? Like, why you ain't put me on yet? And I'm putting on these shows so they can hear your answer.
I don't know nobody. Actually,
all these friends.
No, they're not even married. So actually, first of all,
is it the age gap?
No, it's not the age gap. The issue is that single people stop wanting to hang around married folks. Single people also don't like to hang around people with kids.
Okay.
So until next time, I'm out.
Ciao.